season. Who gonna stop?
Man, Sal, I honestly think it's only two things. One would have to be a Super Bowl hangover, right?
Hangover?
Like, the Buccaneers are so hyped from winning last year, and now they've tasted success that they've gotten full off of it. I've told you this story before. I'll give it to you in another form. It's like sometimes your boy tries to do the intermittent fasting thing.
Oh, you try? You can't?
I incidentally do it instead of intentionally do it. I eat dinner at like 7 p.m. and then I don't eat until after I work out by 11 a.m. So I end up intermittent fasting. But the problem, Sal, is if I don't eat for too long and then I go eating too much too quickly, I get a stomach ache.
Oh, your tummy hurt. Your tummy hurts. Want some Pepto?
I do, big dog, I do. Because I don't know why. I don't know if my stomach shrinks or whatever the case may be. I think that is a real thing.
Just your stomach shrinks? Okay.
If I don't, the abs start popping too, you know what I'm saying? But if I don't eat for too long and then I eat too much too soon, you get fuller quicker.
Okay.
That's where I think the Bucs might end up. They didn't eat for a long time. We just finished talking about John Gruden. It's been since John Gruden won the Super Bowl that they were last in a Super Bowl. 19 years, big dog, and so they ain't ate. Now all of a sudden, not only do you go from 7-9 to the playoffs, you go from 7-9 to a Super Bowl. You go from starving to buffet. You go from not eating to filet. So I'm thinking, are the Buccaneers going to eat? Have they eaten too much too quickly, and thus they will be full? Obviously, we're having a literal conversation. I mean it figuratively. Did they taste success too quickly, and now they're going to get in the next season, and it's like, nah, we Gucci, we got Tom, we ain't got to worry about nothing, and then they start to falter later on. So on my first lap, my first concern of stopping the Buccaneers is, will they stop themselves? Have they gone from not eating figuratively long enough, tasting too much success too quickly, and they will perform in a manner of being full because they already ate?
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Ooh, I like that one. I intermittent fasting every single day. I just don't like breakfast.
From what time to what time?
My last meal is probably 10 p.m. and my first meal is 3 p.m. the next day. Yeah, every single day. I only have a shake, so I guess that's kind of cheating, but I have a shake about 11. Yeah.
Respect.
Trying to get there. I'm trying to look like Acho. But here we go. Nothing is stopping the Bucs. Nothing. And I knew you were going to go there. My first line is not even themselves. Stop it before you started, Acho. I literally wrote that down because I knew you. They're going to implode. They're going to be too full. They're going to be full faster. They didn't eat for so long. And this is so funny in sports. People always go there because you wear the same uniform as the bums before you. They didn't eat for so long. I'm new on this team, homeboy. We ate, and that's okay. So let's not confuse the two. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization with this roster, which is young. And now, together, they're staying on the roster. Lack of focus won't work. Nothing's going to work. You want to know why? Their quarterback is Tom Brady. Who is Tom Brady? The last quarterback to win back-to-back Super Bowls. Who is Tom Brady? God. This dude is the guy who's been to 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls. Let it ring, people. Let it ring. 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls, Tom Brady's been like, here. Like remember elementary school, Marcellus, Wiley, here. 4 of the last 5, here if I'm Tom Brady. Let's go back even further. 5 of the last 7. Here, Tom Brady, he doesn't allow you to get off schedule in terms of how you eat and how you receive that same food, because Tom Brady is a rule stickler. Like, he is Mr. Rules. You know how Tim Duncan's Mr. Fundamentals? He is Mr. Rules. And now I got to hit you with a Wileyism. This Wileyism is about who Tom Brady is as I sit on my yacht. Follow the rules to become an exception. And that's who Tom Brady is. He has followed the rules greater than any other player, let alone quarterback in sports history, certainly NFL history. So Tom Brady sits there, Acho, and says, you know what? I'm not going to let y'all get off course. I'm not going to let you guys lose your focus. I have the results to prove it. Stick to me, stick with me, and we're going to go where we need to be. Got to bring in Fox NFL analyst Bucky Brooks. So, Bucky, where you at? Bucky, go to that camera right there. Bucky, all right, forget it. Is there anything stopping the Bucs this season? There he goes.
You know, like you guys, we have it all figured out because last year we thought it was the Kansas City Chiefs and the dynasty was coming because no one could stop them. The same thing right now. It's been like a verbal bouquets just thrown all over at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But there are two things that can stop the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. One, they certainly can't control, and that's the injury bug, because injuries can derail their chances. We know that. But are we going to ignore Father Time? And I know what you're going to say. You can be like, oh, don't come at Tom Brady. Tom Brady's the 40-something. He's already proven it. He did it last year. So let's take Tom Brady out of this discussion. Let's talk about the reason why they really won it. They won it because their defense. Well, when I look at that defense is loaded with 30-somethings. Jason Pierre-Paul and Ndamukong Suh. When you think about Lavonte David, all of those guys are in their 30s. How long are they going to continue to be able to play at that dominant level? All of the pieces of the puzzle fell into place last year during that playoff run. Can they replicate it? As Acho talked about, are they going to be satisfied now that they've won it? When you get older, are you a little more motivated to go to the gym, or are you ready to kind of check out? You guys are talking about the fasting. Are those guys going to do the intermittent fasting? Are they going to be hungry? Or are they going to look like Rocky Balboa wearing those silk suits and all that other stuff? You just don't know how this team is going to handle it. So I'm worried about Father Time finally tracking them down, not just Tom Brady.
Bucky, I'm not mad at it, but let me tell you how I'm currently dealing with Father Time and Tom Brady in perspective. Bucky, you know when you got to wake up at like 4:30 a.m., either for a flight, for work, for something.
Yep.
And you know you got that alarm clock set. You go to sleep at a reasonable hour, 9 p.m. or 10, and you got your alarm clock set. Bucky, you know you set it, but you wake up at 3.
Yes.
You wake up at 3:45.
That is me.
You wake up at 4:50. Oh, God. You wake up at 4:26. Like, you keep waking up, alerting yourself for something that Father Time is going to alert you of.
Ooh.
Your alarm clock is going to ring, so stop checking for it. Just wait till it goes off. I've stopped checking for Father Time, Tom Brady's falter. I'm just going to see it, hear it like the alarm clock, and when it happens, it happens. But, Bucky, I'm going to stop anticipating it, because the anticipation will give you anxiety. Now, I'll say this. I do think there is one team in the NFC particularly that can stop the Buccaneers, and that's the Los Angeles Rams. If, in fact, they are one piece away, if we want to believe Sean McVay, who's made the playoffs 3 out of the last 4 seasons and showing up with the Rams, if we want to believe him and believe that Jared Goff was the limiting reactant, well, you just got a fringe Hall of Famer, let some people tell it, in Matthew Stafford. What we do know is, as far as arm talent, he's top 3 in the NFL. He might be number 1 as far as exclusive arm talent. So if, in fact, he is the missing puzzle piece for the Rams, then I actually think that's the team everybody needs to watch for. Rams have the number 1 scoring D, number 1 total D, number 1 pass D, number 3 rush defense. You got Aaron Donald up front. You got Jalen Ramsey locked down on the outside. Plus, you have a quarterback with the second best offensive mind in the game in Sean McVay. I think that is the only actual tangible team and physical piece in the NFC that can stop these Buccaneers.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to go that route. That's a completely different segment. If we're ready to anoint Matthew Stafford as the next level, the guy who has 0 playoff wins, we're ready to say that he's going to knock off Tom Brady. That's that's another 15 minutes we have to spend on the Rams. But I will say this about the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have everything that appears to be in place to make another run. However, there's a team out there that they struggle with in the postseason, in the Washington football team. I'm not saying that Ryan Fitzpatrick is an upgrade, but I am saying this defense that they played against last year with Chase Young and those young dudes up front, they gave them problems. So maybe, just maybe, if they see that Washington football team again, who doesn't have fear, not intimidated by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, maybe that's the team in the NFC can do it. Because the rest of the teams, I don't know. I think you have to wait for Father Time to knock these guys down. Not only Tom Brady, but that defensive line that was knocking everybody else around in the postseason. That's the only squad. That's the only person that I can see knocking them off and derailing them from going back to back.
Man, I was so blessed to grow up the way I grew up, because I was told, and it was highlighted to me, that everyone will walk around with a fear of failure. But what's not being told is how many people have a fear of success. And it's interesting listening to 2 of y'all. Y'all are well-adjusted, super successful human beings that I love. But damn, are y'all scared of this success? Like, y'all just getting in your own ways, talking about, well, Father Time goes through. And then you're sitting there saying, well, injuries could come through. And you know, oh, the other teams, the same damn teams we just beat up on. And you know what? I'm so glad my mama, my daddy, my grandma, my sister told me, don't have fear of success. Let me talk about what that looks like for this team. The same team that went 8-0 down the stretch. Remember that. Didn't lose a game after starting 7-5. The same team that had to go out there and beat up on some of the foes that they had seen before. Now, let's talk about that. Remember when they played the Saints week 1? Saints caught them with a sucker punch, caught them slipping. Yeah! Week 1, Tom Brady and they were like, ah! And then the Saints was like, oh, we're not done with y'all. We coming to your crib, front porch style, right in the lawn. Grandmama looking with the house shoes on, Bucky. And Grandma looking at her like, you better go out there and fight them boys. And then the Saints squared up on them, bap, 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 again in front of his grandma. And then they said, okay, we're going to see them again. And this time, we going to get them. And did they get them? Yes, they did. How about the Kansas City Chiefs? Kansas City Chiefs didn't even come with the sucker punch. They just walked up to him and said, pat, pat. And then they were like, oh, we'll see you again, too. And when it mattered most, in front of everybody, you saw that red Hyundai in that alley come by. Patrick! Bow! Hit that board. That's what they do. I'm telling y'all, I ain't scared of nothing. And I'm not even a Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneer. But if I was on this squad, no fear of success.